to get around it. How I see it, I can't live without it. I need it. What you need an idol for? Are you not feeling alive anymore? It's waiting outside your door, hoping you have to come see what's in store. I'm running away from it, right on my heels. Say it can change me, whatever appeals. But what you need an idol for? God's coming soon, you need him more. What you need an idol for? Are you not feeling alive anymore? It's waiting outside your door, hoping you have to come see what's in store. I'm running away from it, right on my heels. Say it can change me, whatever I feel. But what you need an idol for? God's coming soon, you need him more.
Ooh, I taped it on the wrong direction, y'all.
Wondered one day would she be soul and a mind in a bottom, or watching.
Yeah, so like I had this desktop stand.
The mind of the young and the innocent, free from all the hate and the ignorance. False and humankind, no remembrance. Thoughts of positivity, minus negative images. The love.
Ordering more stuff next week.
Received from life's scrimmages, a consequence of being born in different villages to shape the worldview before forming in the citizens. They're supposedly taught how they should function in the world full of adults, abandoning the unction. They see orders non-existent, rampant with dysfunction. War's commonplace, but what is rare is compunction. Compassion is a ration, not often served with dinner. Now they can't go out to play to the stop and pick the gender. It can be a lot to process, a lifetime for it render. But I pray that on the playback you see the whole agenda.
Was a girl in a bar. Wondered one day would she be soul and a mind in a bottom, watching the death of a tree.
She found the biggest tree where she'd be tethered to a rope, tied a double knot to make her way from out the smoke. No one there to help her, she brought a long hope to make her way back to the place she called home. Felt a tug at every turn, like come back. Who's pulling my strings, saying give me some slack? She's not afraid of a feeling when they overreact. Rope kind of frayed, caught in the flame, hard to retract. Watching every rose wither, toes feel thorn splinters, then knows he's with her. Hard to be home before dinner. My promise to deliver, but was tried as an intruder. Never cried, she roared like the Lion of Judah. I've been chastised and taxed, I am not into it. I won't sit inside ruin. You don't treat me like a human. The faith kept inside more real than those refuted. She felt tied to a tree. Now that girl is an illusion.
Was a girl in a bar. Wondered one day would she be soul and a mind in a bottom, or watching the death of a tree. Hold on to the nothing in the leaves. Was a girl.
Okay, so I shut down the website. Facebook page is still up. Instagram is still up. Still doing the exact same thing, but fact of the matter was nobody's going to the website. They weren't using it. It's getting more traffic on Facebook. No reason for me to spend the money. Period. That's it. Kind of unfortunate. I like having it. I still own the names, domain names. I don't know. I'll figure out something, but you know, If it ain't working, I'm not gonna spend money on it. uh, I'm doing all this stuff low budget as possible with getting semi decent quality. You get what you pay for. That's just true with everything. I've got cheap equipment because I don't make any money. you know, I have other things that are priority. So, speaking of which, I'm looking at getting A-frame with like the saucer swing put up here at my house for my son. Um, we had a good time yesterday. It's the first time I had him. Um, let's see if I can fix this. Anyways, the first time I had him unsupervised in my house and in my new apartment. But it's been a long time. I made some mistakes about a year ago. Uh, um, that really set me back in that. And it's like I tell everybody, we make mistakes, and there's consequences to our actions. We can get our life right and get good with God, or however you want to try to word it. Fact of the matter is, you can get your life together. You can genuinely have a 180 change of your life, but you still are going to have to face the consequences of your actions. Um, sometimes we're given mercy in that, and that's amazing. And then sometimes, you're asked to do some things. I mean, that's just it. Um, whenever you break the bond of trust, and you genuinely want that returned, like it honestly means something, um, then you're gonna do whatever is necessary to restore that. You know, in my beliefs and in my thoughts, it's like, well, there's nothing that I'm being asked that goes against anything that's in the word. So you're not asking me to do anything outrageous. So yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, let's do it. Um, you know, and you don't necessarily have to like it, but that's where you're growing is whenever you're doing stuff that you're uncomfortable with. That's where you grow. Period. Growth hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. It's painful. It can be embarrassing. It can be frustrating. It can be a lot of things. But the end result is something that's substantial and has some actual meaning. Um, and that is hopefully something that's a long term and long lasting change. You know, um, not just a quick fix. That quick fix, you know, nobody. Okay, I can't say nobody. I can really honestly only speak for myself, truthfully. So I um, have shown in my life that I require the long hard road and not the quick one time and I got it. It's kind of like, well, the first time was just an anomaly. And then the second time was like, well, it can happen to anybody. And the third time, it's like, dude, you really need to stop doing what you're doing. And then the fourth time, that's like, dude, enough is enough. And you're still like, ah. Because in your head, you start calculating. Well, look at all the times that I've done it, but I've only been caught these couple. Doesn't matter. It doesn't last. Um, you know, it's like, dude, enough is enough. When are you gonna learn the lesson? How many times do you have to lose? At some point, we run out of stuff to lose. Like at some point, um, you know, and it's like if nothing means anything to you, then I don't know. That's a sad, and hollow existence. Um, because even if it's like I don't worship my possessions. If I can do it, then I try to do it, and if I can't do it, then I can't do it, and whatever, and we move on. Um, but relationships is what I'm learning, um, how to properly cultivate and to take care. Um, I'm used to toxicity because I've been toxic, and I've attracted other toxic people, or I've brought out, we bring out the toxicity in each other, or whatever it may be. And so, used to unhealthy and unbalanced relationships. Um, so I don't even, almost 40 years old. I'm just like, okay, I obviously have to relearn this stuff because, well, I have to learn it in the first place. I don't know. I skipped through all that because I don't know. I guess I started using drugs and alcohol. I don't know. I really don't. I just I think I was just like, screw this. I'm just gonna do my thing, and I don't know. I missed out on it for whatever reason, and so it's cost me. You know, and whenever I was presented with opportunities to learn, I said no. I walked away. It was my way, or I was just, whatever. Um, but that's not my life now, and that's not the life that I would dare try to encourage for anyone else, or the life that I promote. Relationships, they're two ways, and we have our ultimate example for the relationship in Christ. um, you know so we look at it in that aspect. um,
I've been trying to find what to find. Though my heart is high, though I'm losing ground, I am
oh, what did I do? This
round. No one's around. He is with me. He is with me. He is with me always. He
Okay,
is
so I love
with
this song.
me. He is with me. He is with me always. At times I forget when I'm filled with stress, knowing that I'm blessed, so I felt much less. Rapping too many years, I've been feeling kind of pressed. Will they make it? Will they make it? I forget about the debts. They've been washed, already lost to the man on the cross. Nails in his palms when I fail, give me the odds. I'm forgiven, I've been living without any withdrawals. As soon as I fall, I forget about God. I'm selfish, don't nobody help him when things get good. I don't wanna milk it. I've been running from things, knowing it will get better. Because if I make it, then I'll have to get it together. Better with my own endeavor, never will be flowing better. Till I see my pattern when I get it thrown in a shredder. Looking in the mirror like I don't know if I'm out of my control. Then it's hard to know when I get up.
So yeah, um, relationships, right? So I've got a child, right? Obviously, I'm not married, you know. And, me and his mom do really well at co-parenting, I think, honestly. So we have a lot of the same beliefs and morals and understandings, and um, you know, um, I wish she wouldn't cuss so much. I mean, I cuss, but um, not not like that. Like I've changed a lot as far as in that aspect, especially not around my son. I really do try my best not to, because he called me out on saying shit the other day, and because he hit my knee, and I was like, shit. He's like, you said a bad word, and I was like, well, some people call it a bad word. It's definitely a word for adults, and kids can't use it, and you're definitely not old enough to use it. So please don't use it, and I'll do my best not to use it as well. You know, um, I think I do pretty good about it. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, relationships. So you can't give up on relationships, but also at the same time, it's kind of like we have to start recognizing what our priorities are, and where we place our relationships in our list of priorities. And it's like, which relationship are we putting first and foremost? Are we putting our relationship with God first? And it's like, it's easy to say, hard to do, kind of thing, especially if you're not used to it. Um, because honestly, if the majority of people are completely honest, they're not putting God before themselves, hardly ever. I mean, honestly, I I I, I mess up all the time. You know, Like I like that I surround myself with people that are Christians and that are into the word and that are studying and that are talking about it. And like the artists I listen to are Christians, and they talk about struggles, and they're talking about spirituality, and they also use the word. And then the stuff I watch, I'm changing. I had to change all that stuff because it's like if I say that I want God to be number one, then I got to start doing things to make Him number one in my life. First I have to recognize what exactly am I putting number one in my life. What is that? What is that lie? What is that misconception? Whatever it is, it's like you have to be like, okay, well that's got to go. But first, it's like you can't. It doesn't just go. Why is it there in the first place? So this is where therapy comes in, and I've been watching a lot of podcasts and stuff and like they're talking about therapy, and it's like I get it. Um, you know, uh, sometimes the best thing you can do is talk through stuff, and you need someone that you can bounce ideas off of, and you need people to ask you questions or prod you or kind of direct you or point you in a certain direction to help. If especially if someone's been through this stuff, and they do have true wisdom and the experience, and they have this relationship with God, and there's someone that you see, and it's like I value. I see the way that you live your life, and it's not that I want to be you, but I would like to have some things similar to what you have in your life. You're not going to go try to take advice or get counsel from someone who's a moron. If you don't agree with them and you don't like them, if you couldn't stand to be around that person, you might want to ask those questions. It's your life. you know we're participating in it, hopefully. And so what I encourage, of course, is through a biblical and a spiritual aspect of it. um, you know um, but honestly, sometimes people just need someone just to sit there and listen. But I like to ask rhetorical questions, like dumb questions. Like I do my classes at the House of Mercy, and people learn in so many different ways, and this is what I'm having to learn myself. Is I'm learning how to adapt and learn how to communicate with other individuals, and I'm way worse at it than I thought I was, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I guess it's easy for me to talk to people who get it, and then sometimes it's hard for me to break it down to people that completely don't get it. And so I'm having to learn how to. Um, so the spiritual aspect of counseling and learning how to talk to people, and meet them where they are, and speaking to them in a way that they can understand, without changing anything that I'm actually talking about, without losing the meat of the subject of the topic, but being able to have the patience to talk to someone who is not at on the same level of, like, even sometimes, like, my mind will start racing, and so I start getting pop 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 pop, and my thoughts will jump around, and I get kind of erratic or whatever. And so sometimes that's kind of hard to keep up with. Trust me, I know. I reside up in here. I know how hard it is to keep up with it sometimes. But sometimes I try to do my best to use that in a positive way. And kind of let thoughts kind of play out or whatever.